I fainted after staying in a sauna for 20 minutes. How long should you stay in a sauna? That's something I'd like to talk about today, so stick around. Hi, my name is Sachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of the Ikigai Diet and Ikigai Biohacking. Okay, right. So, yeah, the last time, or not the last time, the once before, I had a sauna. Yeah, I stayed in a sauna for 20 minutes. And then right after I came out of the sauna room, I fainted. In fact, I didn't even notice that I fainted. Yeah. So I just lost consciousness just for a brief, maybe second or so. And then, yeah, what happened was just, yeah, I just, so I heard someone's voice saying, are you okay? Are you okay? And then slowly I kind of, gained my consciousness again. And, I was just lying down on the floor. Yeah, I was very surprised because, I didn't expect that to happen. Yeah, what happened? Yeah, and then, yeah, but it looks like I fainted. That moment I realized. Yeah, and then, yeah, I told the man, oh, I am okay. Yeah, so I just got up and then, yeah, then I felt okay. Yeah, and then, so I just continued my regular routine. So I just washed myself and then went into the cold bath. And then after that, I went outside to rest, which we call gai kyoku. It's one of the sauna routines in Japan. We have a sauna and then cold bath. And then finally, gai kyoku, which is like an open air bathing. You just go outside in open air and you lie on a kind of one of those like so kind of bed or sort of a resting chair type of thing. Yeah. Um, so during my rest, yeah, I started feeling some sort of pain in like around my forehead, and then I touched it, and then it was kind of swollen. Oh, looks like I hit my forehead. Yeah. Well, I did notice my finger. I both injured my, right middle finger of the right arm and the middle finger of the left arm, which I probably, must have sort of put my hands, yeah, when I fell, yeah. But I didn't realize I hit my forehead. Oh, so I was a bit shocked because, oh, that means I kind of fell directly on the floor, from my face. That could have been very dangerous. Yeah. The problem about fainting is you lose your consciousness. Therefore, you cannot protect yourself. If you're awake and if you fall down and you've been kind of a training, your, flexibility and so on, you can protect yourself. Especially you can cover your face, but if you lose your consciousness, there's nothing you can do. So that could be quite dangerous. Yeah, I need to be very careful. Yeah, I felt that. Okay, so the reason why I stayed in a sauna for such a long time, yeah, 20 minutes, I think is a very long time. And it was my first time to do it, yeah, because usually I stay in a sauna up to 12 minutes. Yeah, that is the recommended length of staying in a sauna in Japan between 6 minutes and 12 minutes. Yeah, no longer than 12 minutes. Yeah, in fact, many Japanese doctors say it is dangerous to stay in a sauna longer than 12 minutes. Right. However, in the West, yeah, I see many people having a sauna longer than 12 minutes. Some people say, they stay in a sauna for 20 minutes or even 30 minutes, right? So that was why I wanted to experiment. I wanted to experiment to see if it is possible to stay in a sauna for 20 minutes. Yeah. So I did. And then, so at the 12 minute, yeah, it was almost a maximum for me, and I didn't want to get out. Yeah, but I continued staying in. Yeah, it was really hard. It was really painful. Yeah, and then but I kind of pushed myself and kind of stayed there until 15 minutes. But that was the limit. I could not stay any longer, so I had to get out. Yeah, that was my first round. So the second round, I want to revenge. So okay, this time I'm going to make it to 20 minutes. Yeah. So even after 15 minutes, I kind of struggled myself, pushed myself really hard, and it stayed all the way until 20 minutes. Right. Yeah. And then I fainted. Yeah. It was a very stupid thing for me to do. In fact, because I even did it during my 24 hours fast. Yeah. Which I have done many times. I mean, I have had a sauna so many times during my fast. I've done it during my 24 hours fast, during my 17 hours fast, and even during my 68 hours fast. I think that last day, which was kind of between my 60th hour and 68th hour, I went to sauna to kill time. Yeah. Um, so I didn't think it would be a big deal, but yeah, just stay in the sauna for 20 minutes on top of the 24 hours fast was too much stress for me. Yeah, right. For the sake of experiment, I just wanted to make sure it was to do with, because I did it during my fast or not. Yeah. So I did it again. So that was the last time when I had a sauna, actually. Yeah. So this time, 2 hours after eating. So I had lunch, and then 2 hours after I went to sauna, and then I stayed there for 20 minutes. Yeah. So yeah, I could do it this time. I mean, it was still hard. It was probably as hard as the last time, slightly easier because maybe this is the second time. Yeah. But still, it was hard. Yeah. Uh, I mean, I think and this time I didn't faint because I was very careful. Yeah, because the last time I fainted, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't get injured. So what I did was, so when I came out of the sauna room, I first squatted, yeah, kind of slowly, so that if I fainted, still I don't fall over, right? Yeah. So and then I felt okay. It was no problem. So I stood up and then yeah, continued my routine. Yeah. So I was extra more careful this time. Yeah. Yeah. But the result was pretty much the same. Okay. So this time I had a sauna for 20 minutes after, 2 hours after eating. So not fasted, right? But still, it was hard. It was very difficult. I think 12 minutes is the good length. Yeah. Or even, yeah, 15 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. I wouldn't do longer than 12 minutes from now on. I think 12 minutes is a good length for me. So you need to be careful. You need to be careful about the rent and so on. And then I think there is a difference between Asian race and Caucasian race when it comes to the temperature tolerance. Yeah, and this is especially so for the cold because I see a lot of Caucasian people like wearing like short-sleeved shirt even in the wintertime or in autumn and so on. Japanese people would never do that. Yeah, you only see them wearing short sleeve shirt in the summertime, but from autumn and even in the spring, people usually wear long sleeve shirt. Yeah, so and then when I see people doing the ice bath too, the temperature is much colder. Yeah. By the way, so we have a cold bath after sauna, and the temperature is between 61 degrees to 63 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 16 degrees to 17 degrees centigrade. Yeah. But I think in the West, the ice bath, the temperature of the ice bath is like 50 degrees to 59 degrees Fahrenheit and 10 degrees to 15 degrees centigrade. So much colder than Japanese cold bath. Yeah. And then even the time of staying is shorter in Japan. We are recommended to stay there between 1 and 3 minutes, no longer than 3 minutes. Yeah, but a lot of people in the West stay in the ice bath between 5 and 10 minutes. Yeah, much longer than Japanese cold bath. Yeah. So I think we do have a difference in a kind of racial structure when it comes to the heat tolerance and cold tolerance, and so on. Yeah. Therefore, maybe for you, 20 minutes isn't too long. Yeah, but it was too long for me, right? And then, um, but then in general, I am in favor of not pushing yourself so much. Yeah, I already talked about optimization versus hara hachibunme. Like doing your 80% best. Yeah, I made a video called optimization versus hara hachibunme. Stop when you are 80% full. Right. So in the video, I talked about you don't need to seek optimization all the time. I mean, of course, it is good to find optimal method, but even if you do 80% optimal approach, you still get benefit. It is still effective. In fact, probably it won't make that much difference in my opinion. Yeah. If you do a 80% optimal method, and comparing to someone who is doing 100% optimal method, I don't know how many years of difference it makes in terms of longevity. Yeah, like for example, if you do 80%, maybe you get to live till 120. What if you get to 100%, you get to live till 122 or 23 or something. So, or what about the probability of increasing the risk of catching certain diseases and so on. So I'd like to actually see any kind of research done, comparing the optimal method and slightly less optimal method to see, yeah, how much of the difference it makes. So you don't need to risk your life to always like thinking of this is the maximum limit that I could go. Yeah, yeah. Because there's always a risk. When you try to do all out, there's always a risk, especially for seniors. I mean, I'm 60 years old, so I'm much more careful than 10 years ago. Yeah, when I was younger, uh, I was reckless. I mean, I still am reckless. I mean, it was kind of stupid thing for me to do. Like 20 minutes of sauna after doing a 24 hours fast. That's a really yeah, stupid, insane things to do. Yeah, for a 60 years old man. I mean, you should be mature enough, right? Yeah. But when I was young, I was much more reckless. Yeah, I felt I could do things, but recently I'm more careful, and it is very critical for seniors to be cautious. So always choose a method that is slightly below the maximum limit. Yeah. So even in sauna, so let's say in the West, it is recommended to stay in the sauna between 5 and 20 minutes. Yeah. I think, yeah, even though you could maybe stay there until 20 minutes, maybe leaving there around 15 minutes might be better, might be safer. Yeah. Of course, this is all depends on the individual. And some people can stay there longer than other people can even stay shorter time. So depending on you, but you can just tell yourself or feel your body and see, I cannot stay any longer. And then you can just get out. You don't need to compete against anyone else. You don't need to prove yourself that you're a tough guy or anything like that. It is okay not reaching the goal you set. Yeah, your health is more important. And what's the point of getting injured? Or what's the point of having a heart attack if your aim is to stay healthy and live long? Yeah, you don't want to. In fact, avoiding a risk is one way of biohacking. Yeah, to stay healthy for long years, you need to avoid risk in all situations, right? Um, I also made another video called "Is Marathon Good for Longevity?" And then some ultra endurance sports, yeah, can be dangerous, or it's give you too much stress, yeah. So always moderate amount of stress is critical. That's what the whole message is all about, yeah. You have enough stress, but not too much stress. Yeah, if you apply too much stress, it gives you a negative effect. Yeah. So again, this experience, yeah, reinforced my idea that maybe staying around 80% of your maximum capacity is the sweet spot, and therefore it is optimal in that sense. Yeah. Um, Right. So, and when you're doing HIIT too, high intensity interval training, the correct way that many people talk about is to during your like the high intensity exercise, it have to be maximum, have to be all the way out. That you cannot, do any longer. That sort of intensity. But I am little wary about that idea. Maybe 80% or 90% best. In other words, maybe 80% or 90% of your heart rate or just your strength is probably safer and you still get the effect. Yeah, some people say you don't get effect or it's not a correct way, it's not optimal. It may not be optimal. Yeah, probably they are right. Probably the optimal ways to do all way out, but you still get benefit. And if you practice 80% intensity, interval training, you still gain, yeah, health benefit, along with your zone 2 jogging and walking and everything else. Yeah. So you don't need to worry too much about that. Yeah. Um, so the next time when you're in sauna, be careful. But it's all, up to each person. So you have to kind of feel for yourself, how long is the comfortable level or it's a effective level for you to have a sauna. Okay, thank you for watching. Again, my name is Sachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of the Ikigai Diet and Ikigai Biohacking. Biohacking based on Japanese natural health. If you like this video, please give me your thumb up and subscribe to my channel. And please leave your comment. Yeah. What are your experiences of having a sauna? Yeah. Okay. I'll see you in the next video. Live with your Ikigai.